What's up guys, this is Coach Ray from Armwrestling, and today we're going to talk about the greatest of all time in arm wrestling. As a content creator, I see a lot of comments and a lot of dumb comments. And I see things like legend and GOAT being thrown around left and right. So I want to make some things clear. I have done a few videos where I talk about the greatest of all time in our sport. That's John Brzenk. And however you want your favorite athlete or the athlete that you follow to be the GOAT in arm wrestling, there's only one GOAT. He's like universally recognized as the greatest of all time. If you ask any real arm wrestler without any biases from their country, they will say like, yes, John is the GOAT. They might have different lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight, GOAT or best inside puller, the greatest inside puller in arm wrestling history, or greatest top roller. Of course, they can be changed. But the thing is, John is the greatest of all time. It's not Devon, it's not, Schoolboy, it's not Levon, Denis Siplenkov, even Ryan Bowen. Depending on how you look at it, this is mostly for newer fans to educate you before you make any of these comments that are kind of disrespectful, to be honest. Like, if you still don't know who John Brzenk is, I made 2 videos explaining why he is the GOAT, why he is the absolute benchmark in our sport, and I'll post them in description so you can find them, as well as in top right or left corner, whatever. Just to understand, to be recognized GOAT, like to surpass John Brzenk, you have to basically be doing something. You have to be doing almost everything better or bigger than John did. So that means longevity in the sport. You have to be the dominant athlete recognized in your weight class for 20-30 years. Okay, you have to, if you're middleweight, you have to go out of your class and beat heavyweights constantly. You have to be the favorite guy to win every tournament you enter. You can have bad and good days, but you should be the guy who goes there and wins match with Levon, or beats Trubin or Devon or Michael. You have to be that guy. And it's very hard to be that guy. Like, I think this is why like most sports, they don't have too many GOATs. Everyone's like, okay, it maybe comes down to 2 or 3 athletes, and we can figure there. Most sports even have 1. That's the greatest potential for that sport. And yeah, John is that. And people commenting, and they were like, yeah, like, he's the GOAT. And I'm like, okay, but you need to specify what you mean by that, because he's not the GOAT when we're talking about someone else if it's not John Brzenk. It's and I feel for athletes, another thing that was used a lot in the past, I don't know how many years, was legend. Just legend. Yeah, just legend. Guys after being 7-8 years in the sport are called legends. Yeah, you can have some legendary arm wrestlers that came in, left, but you can have local legends. So we will have some arm wrestlers in my country that you will never hear about, but they're legends there. They will come, everyone recognizes them, everyone remembers what they did, how they did it, how long they did it, all those things. So that's completely understandable. But to be a legend, you have to be, I would say you have to do something that no one else has done. You would have to make a big boom. You would have longevity and things like that. There are a lot of legends right now. Just watching a few live streams when Svetan Gashevsky gets on table, Engin Terzi is there, and they're like top 3, like pound for pound, all-time best arm wrestlers, and no one recognizes half of them. So that's kind of sad. This is why I want to educate more. I posted all the videos that I talk about, like greats pound for pound. Again, that was made by experts, athletes that are in the sport for 30+ years and still keeping it highest level possible, like Ron Bat and many more. So check out those videos. educate yourself. You cannot understand everything or anything about the sport from watching 30 minutes or even, I don't know, days worth of arm wrestling. You really have to talk with athletes that have been around, not just got into the sport together with you or been there like 3 months earlier. You have to understand the history of our sport. So for everyone who's just joining us right here, educate yourself, understand the awesomeness that you might have missed. Because you see some things that are on camera, and it's very hard for people to like, oh yeah, like yeah, I never seen, I never was it, so I don't believe it. You know, it's very easy to do things like this in today's era, but there are guys that built the sport, that you are here because of them, and I think that they deserve respect. And I get kind of mad and angry every time someone, you know, in forums or comment section throws around like the GOAT. Yeah, he's the GOAT, you know, or even calling me a legend. I'm like, dudes, come on, like nowhere near that status. Let's talk in 15 years. You know, let's see what I can do in 15 years with promoting sport and growing sport. And I don't know if I will still be around in 15 years. So I think everything should be earned, and it should not be earned in 20-30 minutes. It should not. Respect the legacies, respect athletes, learn about the community you're in, and yeah, just educate yourself. Because like really, if someone has a better argument or gives an argument that this guy can surpass John Brzenk, you know, as a GOAT, give it to me right in the comment section or make a video about it, explain it, please. I would love to hear, because again, you have to not be John in one thing, you would have to be John at many things. And John, for most of his career, wasn't a heavyweight. You know, he's the guy that beat Denis Saplenko in a super match. Just to remember those things. When, of course, Denis was still coming up, but John was close to 50. So you need to understand and take all those things in the context of the greater things in arm wrestling. So educate yourself. I posted like the links for the videos that I would love for you to watch, and you would get a little bigger sense of understanding like what this sport is about, what arm wrestling is about, what are the great athletes that build the sport. It's not just the things you see on camera. Most of the world champions, continental, European, you will never hear about them. But if you meet them in a let's say in a bar and there's an arm wrestling table, they will leather you in a second. So there is so much more about arm wrestling that meets the eye, and especially that meets the camera. I believe some of the greatest matches we will never see. We will never see some of the greatest matches in arm wrestling history because they've been forever lost because there was no camera, or the tapes are missing, or the quality is just so bad that you cannot see them. And another thing is seeing things on camera, so you can see just one video that went viral, but you will not see the dominance of that athlete for 10 years, like Rustam Babayev, Engin Terzi, Hadjimurat Zuluyev, you know, Gabriela Vasconcelos. There are so many that you have heard or seen, you know, maybe just a little, but they've been dominating the best athletes in the world in world championships for 10, 15, 20 years. Year after year, new challenger arises and they cannot win them. And I think everyone who's in the sport of promoting arm wrestling, making arm wrestling bigger, they need to talk, they need to show some of these athletes that you will never hear about them because they don't have a social media following, or maybe they don't speak English, you know. So that's kind of sad part for me, especially because I've been involved. I have went to world championships. I know how dominant Sasha Andreev is, when for a few years there was actually no one that could touch him, and he kind of gets lazy, then someone touches him, he comes back, beats them, you know. And there's so many of these stories and so many things that are not on camera. Yeah, this was just a little rant. I posted all the videos that I would recommend everyone to watch and to understand a little deeper history of the sport, some of the greats of the sport, and I hope I will be making more videos talking about the history and personalities of our sport, because some of them are lost and may never be heard again when no one talks about them, so they're kind of gone. And I kind of want to bring them back and just show some respect and love for their legacies. Stay strong and love arm wrestling.